Are you that person? I mean, are you the one who's always reaching for a sweater indoors while everyone else is, complaining it's too warm?
Or maybe your feet are just perpetually frozen, even when you're buried under a pile of blankets.
Exactly. We all tend to just brush it off, especially during a typical U.S. winter. But what if it's not just you being sensitive? What if it's actually your body sending a really clear signal?
A physiological signal, that's the key. And that's what we're doing today. We've gone through all the source material you sent us to figure out the difference between a normal winter chill and what's actually called cold intolerance.
Cold intolerance. So this is a real persistent feeling that points to something else going on.
Exactly. It can signal inefficiencies or even underlying conditions in your body's whole temperature regulation system. Our mission today is to uncover those root causes, from blood flow to hormones, and, give you some science-backed solutions.
Okay, so let's get into it. The most logical place to start has to be the circulatory system, right? The body's heating delivery service.
It's the perfect analogy. Your blood is like the delivery truck carrying heat. So if that truck isn't running well, or if it's low on fuel, the most distant parts of the body, your hands and feet, are going to be locked out in the cold.
And the fuel here is oxygen, which is essential for cellular metabolism. That's how our bodies generate heat in the first place.
Right. And if that process is struggling, you'll feel it. Which brings us to a really, really common culprit the sources pointed to: anemia.
Okay, so anemia. Most people have heard of it, but what is it actually doing to our temperature?
Well, anemia basically means you lack enough healthy red blood cells, or more specifically, the hemoglobin inside them that carries oxygen.
So no oxygen transport.
No fuel for your metabolism. It's like trying to start a fire with damp wood. Your body's ability to produce heat just plummets.
And the sources really zeroed in on two key deficiencies that lead to this: iron and vitamin B12.
Yes. They're the building blocks. Iron is the absolute core component of hemoglobin. It's what physically grabs onto the oxygen. And B12 is essential for actually making the red blood cells in the first place. A problem with either one slows the whole factory down.
What's really fascinating, though, is that the sources say you don't even have to be clinically anemic to feel the effects.
That is such a critical point. A doctor might measure your ferritin, which is your body's iron storage, and even if your main blood count is technically normal, if that ferritin level drops too low, say below 30,
you'll feel it.
You feel it. It can start affecting your thyroid function and metabolism long before you get an official anemia diagnosis. You'll get those cold hands and feet.
And with B12, the symptoms can be a little different, even a bit strange.
Very different. B12 is crucial for nerve health. It maintains the protective coating around your nerves. Without enough B12, that coating wears down and the signals get scrambled.
Which leads to that pins and needles feeling.
Exactly. That pins and needles feeling, or tingling, numbness. It's a classic sign, along with the coldness.
Okay, so that covers the quality of the blood. What if the blood itself is fine, but it just can't get where it needs to go?
Now we're talking about the plumbing, the physical pipes. And the most dramatic example of this has to be Raynaud's phenomenon.
Right. This is where the blood vessels themselves literally clamp down.
They do. It's called a vasospasm. The tiny arteries in your fingers and toes just narrow, like instantly, in response to cold or even stress. Blood flow is choked off.
And your fingers turn white or blue.
White or blue, and they feel numb, painful, just freezing cold. It's the body overreacting, trying to conserve heat for the vital organs.
And then there are more chronic issues, right?
Yeah.
Like plaque buildup from atherosclerosis.
Yes, or peripheral artery disease.
Right.
That physically narrows the arteries over time so less blood can get through. It's like a permanent kink in the hose. Even just having low blood pressure can contribute, because there's less force to push that warm blood out to the very ends of your limbs.
Okay, we've covered the delivery truck and the fuel. Let's talk about the factory itself, the body's internal thermostat. This is where hormones come in.
This is a huge one. We're talking about hypothyroidism, an underactive thyroid.
The ultimate slow burn.
That's a great way to put it. The thyroid gland produces hormones that basically set the speed for every single cell in your body. They regulate your metabolism.
So if you don't have enough of those hormones,
the whole system just slows down.
Yeah.
Your cellular processes, including heat generation, just decelerate. You end up with this constant, deep, bone-chilling cold that layers just can't seem to fix.
So if someone feels cold all the time, but they don't have the other classic thyroid symptoms like weight gain or fatigue, should they still be concerned?
It's a great question. If the coldness is pretty mild, then that's the only symptom. It might just need circulation. But if it's persistent and you're also see, say, unexplained weight gain, maybe your hair is thinning.
I've heard the outer third of the eyebrows is a classic sign.
It is. That and just relentless fatigue. If those are there, you absolutely need to talk to your doctor about getting a full thyroid panel.
All right, moving on to another really surprising cause, the nerve temperature disconnect. This is when the gauge itself is broken.
Yes, peripheral neuropathy. This is often a complication of uncontrolled diabetes. Over time, high blood sugar damages those tiny nerves, especially in the hands and feet.
So they start sending faulty signals back to the brain.
They misfire, exactly. Your hand could be objectively warm to the touch, but your brain is receiving a signal that says it's freezing.
Wow.
And sometimes it's not just a cold feeling, it can be a painful, burning cold sensation. It's a clear sign the neurological wiring is damaged.
And we have to touch on this. The sources are clear that women tend to feel colder than men. Why is that?
It really boils down to two things. First, muscle mass. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. It generates heat just by existing. Men, on average, have more of it.
So a bigger engine, basically.
A bigger engine. And second, hormones. Estrogen levels fluctuate, and that can affect how blood vessels are regulated and even shift the body's core temperature slightly.
That's fascinating. Okay, so we've got blood, hormones, nerves. Let's get into lifestyle factors, the stuff we might have more immediate control over.
Right. Think of your body like a house in the winter. You need good insulation.
Which means having a healthy amount of body fat.
Precisely. Subcutaneous fat is literally insulation. If you have a very low body weight, you simply don't have that layer to conserve the heat your body is making.
And what about something we all forget, hydration? How does not drinking enough water make you colder?
It's all about survival mode. When you're dehydrated, your blood volume drops. Your body's priority is to maintain pressure and fluid for your vital organs.
So it sacrifices the extremities.
It has to. It restricts blood flow to your hands and feet to conserve that core volume. Your hands and feet pay the price and get intensely cold.
Okay, here's one I definitely feel. The stress response. My hands get icy cold right before a big meeting.
That's the fight or flight response in action. Stress triggers adrenaline, which immediately causes vasoconstriction in your extremities.
So it's pulling blood away from the hands and feet.
And redirecting it to your heart, brain, and major muscles. It's prepping you to run or fight for your life, and cold fingers are not a priority in that moment.
What about things people might not even think of, like medications?
Oh, absolutely. Some really common medications can affect circulation. Beta blockers, for example, which you use for blood pressure, slow the heart rate. Less pumping means less warm blood getting to the periphery.
And even some antidepressants?
Yes. Some SSRIs can affect the central nervous system's control over blood vessel dilation and constriction. If your cold intolerance started right after you began a new medication, it's definitely something to discuss with your doctor.
So many potential causes. This has been a huge deep dive. Let's switch gears to what people can actually do about it. What's the path forward?
The single most important step, especially in the U.S. healthcare system, is getting a proper diagnosis. You can't just treat the symptom.
You have to find the root cause.
Exactly. And that means being proactive with your doctor. You need to ask for comprehensive blood work. Don't just let them run a basic panel.
So what should you specifically ask for?
Ask for a complete blood count, a full thyroid function panel, not just TSH, and make sure they check your vitamin B12 and, critically, your ferritin for iron storage.
And once you have that diagnosis, the treatment becomes very clear.
Very targeted.
Yeah.
If it's hypothyroidism, you'll likely get a synthetic hormone like levothyroxine. If it's a deficiency, it's usually supplementation.
And you found a great tip about absorbing iron supplements.
Yes. Always take your iron supplement with vitamin C. Whether it's from orange juice or a supplement, vitamin C massively increases how much iron your body can actually absorb and use.
Great tip. Okay, let's talk about lifestyle strategies anyone can start today. Layering.
Layering is key, but it's how you layer. You want loose-fitting layers to trap air. And the material matters. Ditch the cotton base layer.
Why not cotton?
It holds moisture against your skin, which makes you colder. You want something that wicks sweat like wool, silk, or a synthetic like polypropylene. And cover your head and hands. Mittens are always warmer than gloves.
Because your fingers share heat.
They share heat. It creates a little personal furnace for your hand.
What about food and exercise?
Regular exercise is fantastic. It boosts your circulation and your metabolism at the same time. Diet-wise, make sure you're eating balanced meals. And for a quick fix, drink warm liquids, tea, broth, and have at least one hot meal a day to raise that core temperature.
And finally, what should we absolutely avoid?
Smoking is public enemy number one. It's a massive vasoconstrictor. It just strangles your blood vessels. And be mindful of caffeine and alcohol. Alcohol might make you feel warm initially, but it actually causes you to lose body heat faster.
Wow, okay. We've covered a massive amount of ground here. So the key takeaway really seems to be, if you are chronically cold, it is almost never just in your head.
Not at all. It's a systemic issue. It's either a blood supply problem, think iron, or B12, a thermostat problem, which is your thyroid, or a signaling problem, like with diabetes or stress.
So if layering up isn't cutting it, it's time to investigate.
It's time to talk to your doctor and ask for those specific tests. Your body is trying to tell you something is off balance.
And here's a final thought for you to chew on. If your body is constantly in a state where it's pulling heat away from your hands and feet, don't just focus on the what. Ask yourself why. Why does my body feel like it's in survival mode so often? It's a fundamental instinct, but when it becomes chronic, it's a sign that demands a deeper look.
Well said.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another deep dive into your sources. And definitely share this one with that friend or family member who is always shivering next to you.